Hello and welcome to our parent meeting for the Spring T-Ball 2023. I'm looking forward to a great year. I'm opening a quick prayer and then we'll get right into the meeting. Father, I just come before you. I pray over the upcoming season, Lord. I thank you and praise you for the opportunity to get to play sports. Lord, allow us to have an enjoyable season this year. And allow each and every child that comes and plays a game of T-ball to just learn more about the game and just enjoy it. Lord, we thank you and praise you, and we ask all these things in Jesus' name. All right, I would like to first and foremost welcome you to our parent meeting. My name is Seth Bischoff. I'm the sports coordinator here at the YMCA. I know some of you I might have seen in the past, and some of you this might be your first time playing with the YMCA. And to both, I would like to say welcome and thank you for joining us this year. I will jump right into it in regards to the up and coming season. So, first and foremost, I just want to mention the location of where all of our sports will be played. It is at Hunt Park. The address for that is 1823 Westover Road. That is also right across from YMCA Pool, if you were familiar with that is. But once again, the address is 1823 Westover Road, in Georgia, and that is where all of our games, all of our practices, everything will be held there. Now, in regard to dates and things like that, I'm actually going to put up on the screen our information sheet. And I will say, as you can see with the parent meeting Monday, March 17th, that is something that was a typo. It was supposed to be completely deleted. And just the parent meeting will be recorded and posted on the TIFJ YMCA YouTube page. So I do apologize that this meeting is a little bit after the 17th. We're trying to get it up by Friday, just we're not able to get it up by Friday. So we're currently going to have this up Monday, the 20th is when you should be watching this video. Anyways, important dates. So as you see right here, March 21st, Tuesday, March 21st, that will be our first practice. That is still the plan for the first practice. We're looking to have 2 weeks of practice. So we will practice the week of March 21st. Then we will take off for the spring break. We'll come back in, I believe it's the week of May the 4th. We'll have our second week of practices. And then, April 4th, not May 4th. April 4th, the week of April 4th, we will have our second week of practices. And then April 11th, we will have our first game. You can see that right here at the bottom of the information sheet. There will be 4 weeks of games, 8 games total, and we will end May the 4th will be our last game. That way you kind of have an idea of what we're looking at there. Now, everything is scheduled for a Tuesday, Thursday afternoon. In the event that we have a game that gets rained out or something happens and it gets canceled, we will make that game up on Monday. So those are really the 3 days that we use: Tuesday, Thursday, and Monday in the event that we have a makeup game, a rainout game, or anything like that. So that's what we're looking at in regards to the up and coming season. Now, kind of what the first practice will look like. So like I mentioned, the first practice is March the 21st. It's right there on the information sheet at Hunt Park. When you get there, let me back up. Before you get there, ideally, in the 3 to 4 year olds, you should be contacted by a coach. We are currently in the process of getting all of the rosters and the schedules to the coaches today. And so hopefully you have received an email or a text message or will receive an email or text message shortly from your coach. That's what we're looking to get that out to the coaches today. They should be able to contact you. Now, in regards to the 5 to 6 year olds, currently we are still in need of some coaches in the 5 to 6 year olds. Looking at having 4 teams, and so we still need several coaches. So you might not be contacting the 5 and 6 year olds. And so in regards to that, I'm going to mention the practice times in just a second. That way we can go from there. But if you are interested in coaching the 5 to 6 year olds, please do let me know. You can email me. We would be glad to have you. I know the season's fixing to start, and even if you don't have any experience with T-ball or baseball or anything, we can still show you teach you in the drills that you would need to know. The main thing is just a willingness to help the game, help the children enjoy the game of t-ball. Now, in regards to practice times for everybody, so I'll start off with the 3 to 4 year olds. There's 6 teams in our 3 to 4 year olds, and so we have to do the 3 to 4 year olds at 2 separate times. For practices, games will all be at one time. So for practices, it will either be at 5:15 or 6 p.m. That's the 2 times. Once again, 5:15 or 6 p.m. for the practices for our 3 to 4 year olds. The games for the 3 to 4 year olds will be at 5:30. I'm gonna say that one more time. 3 to 4 practice will either be at 5:15 or 6 o'clock. And then the games for 3 to 4 year olds are at 5:30. Now, in regards to the 5 to 6 year olds, there's 4 teams in the 5 to 6 year olds, and so all of the 5 to 6 year olds will have practice starting at 6:45, and then their games will start at 6:30. And this will all be on the schedule. We'll have schedules available at the practice. You can just pick those up at the concession stand on the 21st, and it'll give you more dates, times, and things like that in regards to that way you have paper copy and can look at it whenever is most efficient for you. Now, in regards to, once again, the season, I know it is a little bit different timing. In regards to the 3 to 4 year olds, you will have to look because it might vary as far as which team's at 5:15 or which team's at 6. So that will say it on the schedule in regards to which team is there. Now, going into the actual practice, what it'll look like, what you'll need, and things like that. So, in regards to what it will look like, the coach, they should have a bag of equipment that we provide. In that bag of equipment, they will have T-balls, they will have gloves, they will have some bats, and then also during game day, they'll also have some helmets. I will say, if you would like to provide those for your own child, or if you'd like your child to have their own that they can bring, that is perfectly okay. We just have some extras in the bag in case there's a child that might not be able to bring their own or might have forgotten their own, things like that. Now, if you do bring, say, a glove or a bat or a helmet or any of those things, I do ask that you write your name on those things. The main thing I would say that I would encourage you to try and have would be a glove, just so that way they have a glove that will fit to their hand rather than having to use a glove that might not be their size. But in the event that you aren't able to get that, we do have a few extras in the bag. But please write your name on anything that you bring. That way, if it gets put in the bag with ours, we'll be able to easily identify which one is yours and give that back to you proficiently. Now, into the details as far as what you would need to do. So the main thing that we're asking everybody to do at the first meeting is to check shirt sizes, to check contact information, and to check spelling of names and all that stuff on the rosters. The coach should have a printed copy of the roster, and we just want to ask all the parents to please check, make sure everything is straightened, make sure everything is correct. If you ordered an extra shirt and it's not on there, let us know. I looked over so far, and I believe everybody that has ordered shirts should be on there. But if you think you ordered a shirt or whatever, please get with me. That way we can go ahead and get that straightened out before ordering shirts, rather than shirts coming in and not being able to do anything about it. So we are asking that everybody check that shirt order the first practice. We are making it Wednesday the 22nd, and so after that day, there's no changes, can't adjust it, can't switch it. It will be set in stone. And so we want to give everybody the one practice the opportunity to try and see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. If you're not able to make the practice, please reach out to the coach just to check that information. We want to make sure everything is straight, everything is what you would like it to be, and that way when it comes in, there won't be any problems there. So that's what we got for the first practice. That's what you will need. I do also say the 3 to 4 year olds, if they don't have cleats, that's okay. But we do ask the 5 to 6 year olds just to start trying to build a little bit of a mechanics for what it will, baseball will be like in the future. We do ask that they have cleats, just to make sure that they're the rubber bottom cleats, not the metal bottom cleats. So that's what we've got. Once again, we ask that everybody brings a glove just so that way they have their own. And if you want to bring a bat, a helmet, or any of those things as well, you're more than welcome to. But we will have a few extras that the coach will have at the games. Also, please, please, please make sure to write your name on it if you bring it. The last thing in regards to that is if you want to bring a water bottle, that would be encouraged as well. That way they have something to hydrate themselves with during the games. I know as the temperature's been this weekend, it's been kind of cold, but I know by the end of the season and during the season, it'll probably be this week, it's going to be hot and warmer again. So please bring some water. If you aren't able to, we will have a concession stand. We'll be selling Gatorades, waters, and drinks up there. But we do encourage everybody to bring water if available. Now, in regards to uniforms, I know there's probably some questions about when will our jerseys come in, things like that. Well, like I just mentioned, we're not ordering jerseys until the day after the first practice, the 22nd, and so they will not be back until right before game time. So that we're hoping to have them back the last practice. That way we can distribute them there. In the event that we aren't able to have them back the last practice, we might hold a different time where people can come pick them up, or just give them out the first games, one of those two, depending on situations and what we're looking like closer to that time. Also, in regards to uniforms, we just ask that there's really the main day this applies is picture day, but just that everybody wears black shorts or baseball pants. Now, we'll leave that option up to the coaches. The coaches can kind of talk with you about that and go from there. But on picture day, we do ask that everybody wears the black shorts and their uniforms. That way, everybody looks uniform for the picture. I know a lot of parents want to order team pictures. We also do sponsorship plaques for the sponsors of our teams, just to show our appreciation for their willingness to participate and serve the youth in the community and partner with YMCA with that. So we want to make sure we look as professional as possible and look uniform in the picture. And so with that, the pictures will be an hour prior to game time is what we try and schedule it for individual pictures, 30 minutes prior to game time for the team picture. We just ask that everybody's there for that team picture. That way we can take the picture and then move on to the game and start the game on time. Now, some other important things for the season. As you know, weather's always unpredictable in South Georgia. One day it can be hot, one day it can be cold, one day it can be raining, one day the wind could be blowing. You really just never know. So in the event that we have some weather coming in, or it looks like some weather's coming in, or there's a chance of some weather coming in, the main two places that we ask everybody to be aware of are the weather hotline and also Y game time. And so I'm going to put up the Y game time on the screen now. That way you can see it. So as you can see, you just go to ygametime.com. It will bring you to this page. You can type in Tift area, search Tift area. It should pull up Tift area YMCA, and then you can select it. It will bring you to this page. You can sign up for our weather alerts. You can just choose spring t-ball, whichever one. I also encourage doing just the spring t-ball because if you do one, sometimes you won't get included in all of the messages. So that's what I encourage there. I will say the area code for some reason does not work. You have to type in Tift area, but that is how you can go to the Y game time, sign up for those alerts. That way, if there's a weather update, I can send it, it'll send like an automatic text directly to your phone. That way you'll be alerted if there's any changes, any updates, anything like that. The other one is our weather hotline. I would encourage you to write this number down, put it in your phone, whatever is best for you. That way you can call it to see where we are in regards to the practices. Now, the weather hotline, please write this down, 229-528-9109. Once again, that's 229-528-9109. That is our weather hotline. And you can call it and it will let you know. It'll say the date. It also say what age groups are happening. I know there's probably about 8 to 10 different age groups that we've got playing this season. And so make sure to look for the age group as well as for the sport, because there's 3 to 4 soccer and t-ball, 5 or 6 soccer and t-ball. So sometimes those updates might be a little bit different on the weather hotline, but you will be able to find all of your information there. So once again, those two places, Y Game Time, which you can see on the screen currently, and then also the weather hotline. Those are the two ways that you will be able to find out what's going on with the season, what's going on with the weather, things like that. Now, I will say those are the first places I update. After I update those two places, then I call the coaches. And so I would encourage you to start off by calling one of these two places, because generally they know before the coaches know, or at least these two locations know before the coaches know. And so the last thing that we will go over in the parent meeting today, I'm fixing to put out a layout of the fields. So as you can see, you should be able to see on the screen currently, this is kind of a mock-up of what the YMCA fields look like at Hunt Park. Now, the top left has t-ball and soccer, right above parking lot 3 in the YMCA pool. That is where all of our practices and games will be held for this t-ball this year. Fields 7, 8, 9, and 10 are our t-ball fields. During practice, all of those fields will be utilized. You can just reference your schedule, and it will either say F7, F8, F9, or F10. That way you know where to go. But there's everything. The middle is the concession stand right here. You also have the Airnasium pool kind of at the bottom left to give you some references about what the fields will look like. Now this is something big that we're trying to encourage everybody this year, just so that way things can go as smoothly as possible. I know this year between soccer and t-ball we've got just over 480 participants, which means there's the potential to have about 480 cars. Now that won't all be at the same time, but that's still a lot of vehicles. And so we ask that when you come into park, please, 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 please park, I guess I'll say reasonably. If there's a parking space, park in one parking space. If there's not parking spaces, please park as close to the car next to you as you can. I like to say, please don't leave a half a car length, because then nobody else can park there, but that ends up wasting space that other people could park in, and some people end up having to walk from a farther distance. We have parking lot 1, 2, and 3 here available. Also over here by the pool and off of parking lot 3 is a pecan orchard and some other space. You're more than welcome to park kind of in the grass right in those areas. But please, like I said, just in the parking process, if you wouldn't mind parking as close to the car that's next to you, or just kind of filling in order rather than coming in and just parking wherever and ending up with a lot of half a car parking spaces where nobody can park and people end up having to park way, way, way out. And it kind of makes for a little bit of aggravating, especially, if you're showing up a few minutes late to the game time, can't find a parking spot, and then you can't get to most of the game because you're trying to find a parking spot. So those are just some of the things I do ask in regards to this season. I know especially for the 5 to 6 year olds, you're kind of coming in as several other teams are going out, and so it can be a little bit confusing, but we're going to do our best to try and make it as smooth as possible this year, reasonably understanding. But if you wouldn't mind just trying to do a few of those things and following some of the lines on the ground and things like that, we would definitely appreciate it. And so that is about all that I have for this parent meeting. Thank you for joining us. If you do have any other questions, feel free to email me at seth@tiffteraymca.org. I can't guarantee I'll be able to respond immediately just because this is a very busy season getting things ready, painting fields, contacting coaches, sponsors, all those different things. But I will get back with you as soon as I can. But thanks, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.